Creatives should be having way more fun promoting their work, and if you're not, then I think you're doing it wrong. So let's talk about it. But even more importantly, I don't know if you guys know, but Rihanna is Smurfette. I only bring that up because of how much the studio has leaned into her involvement for the promotion of this film, which got me thinking about promotion and marketing in general. Welcome to everyone that's new to the channel. I'm Jack Paul, the creator of Salutogenesis, and to those who are familiar with the channel, you'll see this is not my usual setup because I'm in New York promoting Salutogenesis. This video is mostly going to be for artists that are having a hard time marketing their work, because if we don't know how to market ourselves and our work, then we'll never become successful with it. This will also be interesting for people interested in talking about pop culture. I think it'll be a worthwhile exercise to talk about a lot of the movie campaigns and album rollouts that are right now having a lot of fun and taking up a good portion of the conversation in pop culture. It's my belief that marketing is simply meeting people where they are, which is what makes posters and billboards so effective, is because they're going out and getting the attention where the people are. This July, we have 3 mega franchise movies with Superman, Fantastic Four, and Smurfs all coming out around the same time. The interesting thing about these movies that come from big franchises already is that they typically have large enough budgets to make lots of touch points. And I've seen some really interesting stuff just walking around the city. Online, I've also been seeing some really interesting things, especially for Superman, how they had the mannequin up on the skyscraper to make it look like a man was actually flying. Fantastic Four writing the number 4 in the sky to make it look like Johnny Storm had actually been in that city. It typically takes about 7 interactions with something or someone before the audience becomes familiar with it. So the more touch points that you can create, the better opportunity that you have to build a deeper relationship with the audience you want. Marketing and promotions are an art form in and of themselves. It's world building, and every touch point that you create, that means every piece of content, every poster, and all of the efforts that you put towards that world building are like opening doors for your audience to come in and visit your world. But I realized as I was editing this that I didn't have your mics on. So to the audience watching at home, what he's essentially saying is that it's contractually obligated a lot of the times for bigger stars to get bigger placements on the posters as well as top billing, because it's like a mutual understanding between the studio and the artist team that they are a draw for whatever the movie it is that they're in. Again, I'm so sorry, Colin. Thank you so much. That Smurfs is mostly sticking to their guns, doubling down on the fact that Rihanna's in the movie, which makes sense because her brand is a big enough draw to bring people in. The studio leaning so heavily into Rihanna's involvement in this movie should be a reminder to all the creators back at home that your collaborators are a draw for your work as well. Their style, their audiences, and the things that they value will bring value to the work that you are creating, so you should emphasize that as you're promoting your work. This can also work in reverse. For all of my hip-hop heads, you'll know that the Clipse is rolling out a new album, and depending on when you're listening to this, it's already out. This also includes the return of No Malice, so this makes it a whole special event in and of itself. They have done some really interesting things like collaborating with Cause and collaborating with Louis Vuitton and pretty much hitting every mark that is expected of a rollout like this and even more. Now he's mentioning Travis Scott and his involvement with the Meltdown verse with Drake, and that whole situation went about. And what's interesting about that is how both Drake and Travis Scott have capitalized on the attention for this rollout to promote their own projects. So of course I had to come to Times Square for this video because Times Square is like the only place on earth where people actually pay to view the ads. Like the ads and the billboards are part of the spectacle of coming here. There I ran into many interesting promoters.
My YouTube channel is at SandyGame1605.com.
And I just want to show you how I have been applying these tips that we've talked about throughout this video in the promotion of my own work. Essentially, I've been treating myself like a walking billboard. I put on an outfit similar to my main characters, as well as wore some big red boots to pay homage to the originator of anime himself, Mr. Tezuka. This has had the effect of creating lots of free impressions, people wanting to take my picture and interview me for their social media. So I've gotten probably 15,000 in free promotion. While the boots themselves are not cheap, it's a really simple guerrilla style idea, just going out to where the people are and creating conversations and building relationships with people.
Well, I'm the naked cowboy.